I see what ho, chaps and chappets, Game Chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we are now discussing a rather interesting item of news from the Mojang chaps. It seems indeed, old boy, that changes have started, you know.
Most certainly. Now, like we said, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on as far as we can tell ourselves. And indeed, those changes have started, as you say.
Yes, that's right, yes. Now, of course, what kinds of changes? Well, specifically, this is a change pertaining, it seems, to the launcher of the game.
Now, exactly. Now, apparently, there's, lo and behold. Now, what did we say in our previous videos? We said, we put it on the table and said, one of the first things they'll look at will be another launcher, a new launcher to replace this one and to make it bolted together better and working better.
Well, indeed, old boy,
And
yes.
sure enough, Mojang have announced today that there is a new launcher being,
worked on, I think.
Worked on at the moment, and it's in a testing stage at the moment.
That's right.
And it's the first thing they've come to look at.
Indeed it is, old boy. We have this new launcher that's very much in the works, and it has actually reached the stage of public announcement and a public testing phase 2.
Yes, most certainly. Now, apparently at the moment, it looks as though it's in its early stages, looking very similar to the old one, but with some subtle changes already. Now, I think it's important to say, I think, and everyone should really know, that most likely, or most definitely, this is not, behind the whole idea of this, is going to be Microsoft. So this is Microsoft's idea that the chaps, the lads over at Mojang, will be working on to implement what they want and how they want things done in Minecraft.
Certainly, old boy, I think you're right there, because of course there was absolutely no talk at all of any changes to the launcher before Microsoft came along. Now, of course, I mean, we also have to consider the possibility that it could all be just a great big coincidence, old chap. You know, it could be this wondrous coincidence and they were going to do it anyway. But certainly, anyone who's had their ear to the ground recently will not be discounting the possibility that Microsoft could indeed and probably are behind this.
Well, most certainly, yes, I suppose you could say it's a coincidence the sun came up this morning, but there we are.
Yes, the sun.
But
anyway, so now the launcher itself, fellows, how does it work? Well, firstly, as Bertie said there, the actual launcher is not itself largely changed graphically. Now, where the changes to the launcher lie are behind the scenes, and also there's a rather large new step when it comes to loading up this launcher. You'll see currently in this public test phase, you download Minecraft.exe from the internet, you double-click that, and actually then you have this new installation process for the launcher, which is very, how do I say it, Windows setup fashion, old chap.
So we're already seeing in this, and we're going to show you this shortly, if we can, are we?
We will, yes.
So a Microsofty type of move there with the installation process now.
That's right, yes.
To get the thing up and running as we see it on a lot of Windows devices and things.
Of course. So basically what we've got now, we're moving away from the idea of a Java launcher installing the game, and I understand this may also apply to the game itself at some point, but regarding the launcher, you've got this double-click process setup, which is very Microsoft, old chap.
Yes, most certainly. Apparently they're going to keep their own version of Java at the moment.
Yes, apparently, old boy. Now, the GUI, as I say, is unchanged for now, and the tweaks and adjustments are behind the scenes, which is why it has been released to the public for testing. Now, indeed, it seems you're not going to actually need Java anymore in order to be able to use this new launcher. Now, this is quite an interesting point. It seems the Mojang fellows will be maintaining their own version of Java, which they can roll out to the users depending on their requirements. So, in other words, you won't actually have to have Java installed. You can just double-click the game, and away you go.
So that's at the moment. So we could see that advance into you don't need Java at all in the future. You know, everyone without it.
That indeed is where the new launcher stands, old boy. The new launcher, as I said, does not need Java, though of course at the moment you do need Java. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Now, indeed, as you say there, Mojang are going to keep their own version of Java. Now, presently the launcher will support Windows and OS X platforms.
Aha! Right, now also apparently Linux was mentioned for those that are interested in it, but it won't be, the support won't be dropped, but they're not actually going to introduce the new one, I don't think, on Linux yet, unless they, quotes, want it.
Well, that's right, old boy. Certainly, I think they're going to say, does Linux need this new launcher? And if it does need the new launcher, then they'll make it compatible with that. Otherwise, Linux users, it seems, will continue to use their current launching methods. And of course, they did take great pains to say they're not going to be dropping support for Linux, so don't worry about that.
Right, okay, so let's have a little look, shall we, or can we, at this thing?
That's right. Now, as you can see, we have a very much a Windows-style installation process, and I must say, this caught me quite off guard when I first opened up the new launcher there. I was expecting to go straight into the game, as with the previous new launcher, but it seems this time you're going through this installation process, and what it actually does, it drops a bunch of files and folders in the same directory as the launcher. Now, of course, this is the first time we've actually seen the installation process of of the thing that launches Minecraft. You'll
Yes.
say, we're not installing Minecraft here. This is the installer of the launcher.
Indeed.
So then after installing the launcher, you then install Minecraft from the launcher.
Yes, it's rather interesting.
Now, yes, that's not to say, of course, that you need an installer for Minecraft, at least not yet.
Aha, that's useful. So first off then, we've got this installation process, very Microsofty. Few files dropped. What other things are we looking at there?
Well, certainly we have here an interesting break from a Mojang tradition, as you can see there. Of course, in the old days of Mr. Notch, etc., it was just a one application that you double-clicked and there it was, it opened straight up and launched the game. Then, of course, we had more complexity added with the current new launcher system, which took a little bit longer perhaps to start up, and of course now we're looking at this actual full installation process. So certainly the size is increasing, but on the upside, apparently, once you have installed the launcher and got everything working, they do say it's a bit faster to start the game up.
Shall we test it?
Well, indeed, Elby. Now, indeed, also, another point here. Apparently, at one stage, an installer for Minecraft itself may also be coming soon.
Yes, indeed. Apparently, yes, yes. We could say, wink, wink, a new installer for Minecraft coming soon.
Well,
yes, apparently, which will put game icons on your computer in standard fashion.
Really?
Apparently, yes.
That's a first, isn't it, old chap?
Most certainly. It's quite big, yes, yes. It's
So
quite
we're
big.
seeing some quite groundbreaking news here, Fidelis. Firstly, we have the installer, the installer for the launcher, I must say.
Yes.
And then, of course, the game itself will also apparently be getting an installer, which is, again, very much classic of Microsoft to do that sort of thing. They love their setup programs, don't they, old chap?
Well, they certainly do, but let's just hang on just for a second there and look at that game icons on your computer.
That caught my interest as well, I must say.
Well, most certainly. Presumably up to now, then everyone was confused. You see?
About how to start Minecraft.
About how to start it. So we're going to have a nice game icon on the computer, just like we have icons on our Windows computer.
Well, indeed. And
Just like that.
It's not surprising, old chap. We are dealing, of course, with Microsoft here, so they're going to be looking at integrating this game very much into Windows, and what better way to do that than to install it as a standard game in the Windows environment? I don't know, program files Minecraft or something.
Most certainly. So as we said earlier, we did predict that the installer would be one of the first things they worked on, and indeed this is what they are doing.
That's right.
I think they'll want to get this front end in line, and then they'll introduce different ways that they want to, work with the game from there on. But it's front end first.
I think you've made a very good point there.
First impressions count.
They do. That's
Microsoft.
A very wise statement, because of course what they're going to do is get the ground framework here, which is of course the launcher, installed in your computer and compliant with Microsoft's current policies for installation and programs, etc. and so forth, and they'll have their own set of ideals for that and what things should look like on your computer. So that I think they're bringing Minecraft in line with that, and then of course once they've got that exactly how they want it, they can then start to tweak the game and make the adjustments they'd like to make.
Most certainly, yes indeed. Now we mentioned a little bit earlier about the speed there. Is it possible to possibly test this now?
Yes, let's have a test, of course. And I do think, of course, indeed, that you are seeing a slight speed increase with the new launcher as opposed to the old one. Certainly, perhaps nothing to write home about, but we do have a speed increase. But, of course, as things get developed more and more, bugs and worst-case scenarios do tend to crop up, and perhaps the speed might decrease over time, although it remains to be seen whether or not Microsoft and Mojang will keep producing updates to counteract that.
Okay, so some speed differences there perhaps may become more obvious as the thing is built up.
I think so, yes. We're going to have to wait and see where that goes in terms of speed.
Most certainly. Now, apparently also there's going to be some new updates to the launcher to adjust the appearance of it. Surprise, surprise.
The appearance, you say?
Most certainly.
Oh.
Yes, as we said previously, we guessed that Microsoft would want to work on the appearance of the launcher. It's, how it looks when you launch it, what it even looks like before you even get there. There's going to be a button, presumably. Perhaps they'll work to this. There'll be an icon, a window or whatever. You can just click on straight into the game.
Yes,
I think we have to look at this installer, the changes that they're making. Most likely, perhaps, are initial changes, and we'll see a lot more changes as we go down the road in future.
I think so, yes. Now, just on the point of the appearance there, of course, what we do currently have with the Mojang launcher is this thing where, as you were saying in the last news update, Hillboy, it's perhaps a little bit, I don't know, it works, as you say, but behind the scenes, maybe not as optimized as it could be. So I think what Microsoft are doing here is cleaning up the code behind the launcher first, making sure the back end's taken care of, then once that's all bolted together soundly, they'll start to change the front end. Now, of course, where they go with this will be a subject of great interest to fans of Minecraft. Are they going to make a Minecraft-y style login screen like we see with some perhaps MMO games like, I don't know, Diablo, etc., or will we have the dreaded green squares with the white writing on them?
Well, yes, this is the thing. Yes, we don't know. We've yet got to see.
Now, if I was going to make a bet or perhaps a call there, I think they're going to go with perhaps a Mojangy, Minecrafty type of thing to keep familiar users happy with the game, as opposed to, shall we say, thrusting onto us the green squares. I don't necessarily think we're going to see those, but certainly we are going to be seeing, if the Mojang staff's word is to be taken here, some graphical updates to the launcher soon. That means some changes are going to be happening for those.
Well, most certainly they will be, and I think that the changes will be brought in little by little, breaking it slowly to the community, little by little. But I'll put on the table now, I think that you will see long term the thing integrated right into Windows, just a little icon window there, click on you like you do in Windows now, you do some games and applications. That's where I'm calling it'll go.
Well, I mean, it's Microsoft, so they have to go there. Yes, I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think you're right there, old chap. So you've got this process here, Fideos, actually in action now, whereby Microsoft, as Bertie says, perhaps introducing things little by little here, because we have to remember, of course, that although it's the same Mojang staff, or in some cases the same staff working on the game, the company that actually owns them and is calling the shots now is in fact Microsoft. So anything we see Mojang do from now on will ultimately be answerable and perhaps dictated by the Microsoft chaps.
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt about it. Microsoft now are steering this ship.
Yes.
And they're telling the hands on board what to do.
Yes, they are.
I think before we had the hands on board steering the ship, but that's over. And Microsoft is steering the ship and they're telling them what to do. There's no doubt about it, obviously, because they've paid for it. You don't need much of a brain to realise that.
Well, of course. I think many people perhaps may view Mojang's actions in the light of that with regard to updates to the game, perhaps with a healthy dose of suspicion. But I would say it's not necessarily right to hold them in a bad light just because Microsoft's in charge. I think we should wait and see exactly how they work this and what happens and where it goes, and we can make a sort of a neutral decision on whether we like it or not once it actually comes out.
Well, exactly. Now, apparently, this new launcher won't be mandatory, at least at first.
Really?
Apparently, no.
Okay, all right. So perhaps again the slow changing of things there, as you said before. Mojang perhaps are looking to migrate the existing user base to the new launcher system. It seems over time, but you won't sort of be forced to use the new launcher right away if you don't want to. So perhaps Microsoft are looking very much to not upset people here.
Well, yes, but we've said that. Isn't it always like that when they're introducing things? You don't have to at first.
Yes.
But as soon as they say that, you might as well just strap yourself in because you're going to have to do it somewhere down the road.
That's a true statement.
That's how it all works out there.
It does work like that.
It just does.
So, and also they've said, don't worry, they've said they've perhaps placated concerns somewhat there by saying a legacy Java launcher is always going to be available. So you don't need to worry, you're always going to be able to basically play Minecraft even if you've got a toaster.
Yes, most certainly. Now, what does this all mean? I'm sure you chaps and chapettes out there are thinking, yes, but now what does it? Where's the mobs and things? Well, I think let's look at that. Yes. Obviously, the base of the community out there is going to be saying this is wonderful, but for goodness' sake, when did we last see something new in Minecraft? And
yes, and a lot of fans are going to be saying, where are the actual new features? But it's true, of course, that they perhaps have to get the groundwork out of the way first. And I think they're going to be saying, let's get the launch done, let's get the GUI done, and then we'll turn our attention to the game and perhaps anything else that needs to be adjusted here and there. But certainly, before they can begin building on the foundation at Microsoft, they'll need to make sure they've sent their own construction teams in, as it were, to do the groundwork that they want to get done.
Well, of course, and that's what I was just about to say there. The fans are going to be saying, well, where are the new mobs?
Yes.
Where's all the things that we want to see, to take Minecraft forward? We haven't seen anything for ages now, new things, in the Minecraft PC version.
Yes.
So what's going on? Well, it looks like they're going to be preparing this thing, as you just said, to launch in a way, to look how they want it to look, to be prepared to go on the platforms they want it to be on.
Yes.
That's their focus, and it could be quite some time, dare I say, if ever, that you could see some updates to Minecraft. Now, that's a big, broad statement. I'm sure you will see things added in the future, perhaps. But I think that what we're seeing here is a very, very tip of a very large iceberg, I think. It's hidden underneath the water.
We're looking at a large update process here,
yes.
Fedios. And of course, they've hinted in the past that they want to, shall we say, standardize the platforms and make the PC compatible with Xbox and vice versa. And I mean, I don't have much programming experience, but that sounds like a lot of work, old chap.
Oh, yes, it most certainly will be. But I think we remember they've got the team there, the devs there, of course, and of course Microsoft themselves. I understand they've got one or two programmers too that might know a thing or two.
Yes, I mean, I can certainly see and envisage here that the Microsoft Game Studios chaps, who are the ones that call the shots now, perhaps they'll be working with and perhaps telling the Mojang fellows what to do.
Well, I think so. Yes, I think that most likely be happening, most certainly. But as far as the fans are concerned, they're saying this is great. New things, features, etc., added to Minecraft. Not sure when we're going to see those. Perhaps not for a while.
No, I think we're going to have to get all this groundwork and basic construction work, as it were, out of the way first, and once that's done, they'll be able to say, well, what does the community want, which areas do they want to see the game improved on, and perhaps then they can say, right, we're going to bring in more mobs, more biomes, more mechanics, etc., and so forth.
Yes, although I have to chip this in, and please comment what you may think about it. I think they don't want to take too long, because I think that Minecraft has been very much kept alive over the last couple of years by the new updates.
That's the
all
truth.
the time coming in new hype, great, new thing. Oh, what can we do with this? Can we create new things? We can now build new things, do new things. That's what's kept Minecraft going and kept it alive. Leave it too long and do nothing, and you may find that, it begins to just lose interest.
The interest will cool off, that's right, of course, and it's the case with everything. I mean, if you don't tend to your crops, as it were, they all die, of course. So, in this case, if Minecraft were a crop, of course, they need to make sure they keep watering it and nurturing it and feeding it fertilizer. In other words, new updates and new features for people to play and enjoy.
Exactly.
Because, of course, without that, there's no steady stream of news and updates, and people will eventually, they'll exhaust all the features in the game and say, well, I've done that, next game.
Most exactly.
And we don't want that to happen, do we?
Well, we don't. So, let us know what you think. And also, don't forget to pop over and have a look at our other channel, The Chaps Play. It's up there on the screen, where we're doing some Feed the Beast walkthroughs and stuff. It's rather fun and extremely difficult. We've just done, I think, Crash Landing 10, so go and have a look and sub up.
Jolly good fun. We're having fun doing those fails, and I think
love
many
to see
people
them.
are having a good time watching them, so do have a look and see what you think. Do I say, but this has indeed been Game Chat and Bertie with the latest Minecraft news. We'll bring you more, I say. Do you understand? We look forward to seeing you then. Until then.